Hi, everybody, and welcome. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. I'm so excited. I'm going to admit Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays because honestly, I actually allow myself to eat whatever I want. It's one of the few times of year that I allow myself a cheat day, and I'm pretty excited for it. Of course, my eyes are always bigger than my stomach, so I don't eat as much as I think I can, but I'm just happy to have all my family home, and it's just awesome. So I have a really great topic tonight. I tend to think this question comes up this time of year just because people start thinking, I'm just going to wait for New Year's in order to start my health goals because I'm going to do a New Year's resolution, which... Whoa, don't even get me started how I feel about that. But it's a great topic because, think about it. There's so many reasons why you shouldn't wait until New Year's to start your health goals. Because honestly, there's a lot of downsides to that. So let's talk about why it's important to start time other than that. Like, really, honestly, why wait? What's going to change then from now that's going to make it a more optimum time to start your health goal? Because honestly, it kind of becomes like this social construct, right? Oh, it's New Year's, so now we're all going to set a New Year's resolution. We'll realize that 91% of people don't even finish their New Year's resolution goals. So really, do you want to put yourself in that position? I don't, right? So I really struggle with January for a couple of reasons. It's my birthday, which you would think I would love that, but honestly, I think it's a horrible time of year to have a birthday, to be honest. And I will be 45. Yeah, I'm getting up there. But it's cold, it's miserable, and then add to it something that you're not excited to do, which is probably go to the gym, go on a diet. I hate that word because it does not mean what you think it means. We all give it a really negative connotation. So let's talk about the reasons why you shouldn't wait for New Year's in order to start your health goals. So number one of the biggest reasons, and the one that I give a lot of my clients and I try to kind of promote, is that why wait till January? Because during December, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, you may very well put on 7 to 9 pounds. That's the average amount of weight that we put on as Americans over the holidays. And so, here's the deal, guys. I am not saying that you shouldn't be able to enjoy your Thanksgiving or maybe have a great Christmas dinner, but why wait and deal with all the holiday parties, maybe eating junk on a regular basis because people are bringing stuff into the office, and then you're going to every party and you're having multiple alcoholic drinks. So by the time you're done with the season, you're not even where you're starting now. You're actually a whole 30 days behind, plus that 7 to 9 pounds that you don't have at this moment, you're going to have by January 1st. So you're really kind of setting yourself up to be really far behind because you're waiting. Now, again, I'm not saying that you can't enjoy the holidays and the things that come with it, but if you partake of every drink and then some, and every piece of pie and all of those things, you're really kind of setting yourself up for to be in a position where you really may struggle to get moving and get started. Not only that, but for some odd reason, as humans, we tend to tell ourselves that because we've done these things that we are bad people, and that doesn't work. Think about it. You're not a bad person because you had pumpkin pie. Like, that doesn't exist. So there's a lot of psychological issues that come along with allowing yourself to kind of really go off the deep end, when if you could rein it in even just a little bit, then you put yourself in a position to do really well when things, the holidays are over and maybe you are ready to run at that point. But I prefer to ease myself into it. If you try to change too many things all at the same time, what's going to happen is you're going to feel overwhelmed, and the first major obstacle that comes along, you're just going to throw your hands in the air and have that F it moment, right? You're just going to give up because it's just too much to deal with. So if you try to change too many things at once, it really is a struggle to not only stay with it, but to integrate those new habits into your life. So, keep that in mind. It really does. If you start now, it gives you a head start. I want you to think about all the people, not my favorite situation, but it happens. All those people that are going to flood to the gyms or, start with the trainers. Like, if you think you're going to get a trainer in January, good luck with that. First of all, I always tell all my current clients that they have priority. So anybody new is going to have to deal with my schedule and may not even get in there. I do have a limit as to how many people I take on, because then I can be a good coach and trainer. So if you give yourself a head start, number one, you'll already know the layout of the gym that you choose to use before a zillion people start using it. You're already going to kind of have some ideas to what you want to accomplish. You may even have a workout plan. So when you get to the gym, you know what to do, versus how many of those people sign up January 1st and they're just wandering around with no clue what to do, right? That happens. So again, it gives you kind of a head start on that. this is kind of my theory on it. Personally, why not use all those carbs you're going to eat for good, not evil? If you're going to be eating all those extra things, why not start at the gym so that you've got glycogen stores in your muscles so that you can lift and have some energy, right? That's a good concept. Again, that's kind of one of the reasons why on Thanksgiving I allow myself to eat a little bit extra. And then maybe I go to a leg day afterwards, because that way I can utilize all the nutrients that I just ate. So, it does give you something, kind of, balances out the fact that we're going to eat a little more than we normally do. But again, it's a good reason, right? Number 4, here's the deal. You can do a lot in 30 days. And again, it can be both directions. You can accomplish a lot. You can make some changes, even with some of the extras, but maybe you set some things in motion that really help you to get where you need to go. Putting, like I said, even if you're just maybe making 1 or 2 changes, like adding more water to your day, right? Setting alarms on your phone so that you're drinking more water throughout the day, which in turn kind of makes you feel fuller and you don't eat as much, at least in the way of junk. Now, again, I'm not a big fan of diet, and I don't think that low-calorie diets are for anyone, to be honest. So keep in mind that you might need to educate yourself a little bit as to what is healthy for you. 1,200 calorie diets are absolutely ridiculous and should honestly have no place in somebody who's trying to live a healthy lifestyle. So keep that in mind. Yes, I'm very opinionated. Get over it. So the other thing is, when you wait till January, you're just procrastinating. That's all you're doing. You ever have that moment where you're like, it makes yourself feel better because you're like, well, I'm just going to start January 1st, right? You're like, cool, I made a decision, and you feel amazing. But of course, what's going to happen January 1st? You're going to push it back. You're just procrastinating on something that you really want to accomplish. So I read somewhere the other day that, a goal unwritten is something. Intention's great, but you actually have to take some action. That's part of it. And again, it doesn't have to be, I know that they always say take massive action. No, just take 1 or 2 steps forward. Don't overwhelm yourself. If you've never been in a gym before, what's it going to take to get you in the gym? That's the steps you have to take. Not, I'm going to go every day for the next 3 months, and then I'm going to go back to the garbage I'm doing right now, and I think I'm going to keep the figure that I earned. It doesn't work that way. Also, the great thing about starting, and again, I'm not even saying that it has to be tomorrow, because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, but why not? But it really, it makes it all about you. Sometimes when you wait for January, it's more about like I said, the social construct of the New Year's resolution. Everybody's doing it. I'm going to jump on board. The problem is even though maybe there's some other people that you think you're all going to support each other, it still makes it very, very difficult, because then it's not about you. When my clients come in and, they think either they've disappointed me, I'm like, why would you think you've disappointed me? This isn't my goal. This is yours. You really have to figure out why you want it, and it has to be big enough that it doesn't matter what the obstacles are. You're able to get past that, because I find it really fascinating that people get to the point where they're like, well, I'm just not seeing enough change, so I'm going to give up. Okay, but you told me that your energy's better, your pants are fitting better, people are making comments. Just because you didn't get shredded in 3 weeks doesn't mean you quit. That's just kind of ridiculous. So, starting now allows you the fact to kind of figure yourself out. I call it figure out your groove, which means it doesn't work the same for everybody. What works for me may not work for you. You have to figure out your groove, right? So let's talk about a few tips that I have in order to get started, or why I think it's important to get started now. So the biggest one is you really have to think about your health goal as a lifestyle. And I know that I repeat this over and over and over again, but for some odd reason, people look at, like I said, just the short-term goal instead of, okay, but what you do to get there, you have to keep doing to stay there. So if you dieted super hard and you did great and reached your goal so you could wear a bikini in Hawaii, well, what are you going to do? Come back home and put 20 pounds back on? I mean, nobody wants to do that. You kind of got to think of that ahead of time and think, what am I going to do to keep this up? And if it's too intense, if it's too difficult, if it's really honestly, if it's too fast, it's unhealthy, you're really going to struggle to keep up with it and not just physically, we're talking emotionally. And I think that's a really whole end of the spectrum people forget about. The physical part's the easy part. It is the mental and emotional part that we struggle with, right? The demons in your head. Oh my God, don't eat that because, that makes you a bad person. Or, well, I just ate the whole bag of M&Ms, so now I give up, right? That's the hard part. It's not the get your butt out of bed, go to the gym. all in all, that one, you can handle that one for a bit. It's the games you play in your head. Number 2, you may need to find somebody who can help you realistically make a plan of attack. If you're not sure what's involved to get where you want to go, you may have to do a couple of things. You may have to reel it back a little bit and decide, okay, well, I really wanted to lose 30 pounds in 2 months for that wedding I'm going to, but it sounds like that's really more than I'm willing to do right now. So maybe I need to take 3 months or 4 months to do that. And you might not know what it takes. If you have no idea how the biology works, weight loss is not linear, right? You're not gonna for sure lose a pound a week. Even if you do this deficit, 500 calories a deficit a day is gonna give you a pound weight loss. It doesn't work like that. There's way too many variables involved. And you might see some real progress, but if you're not looking at the right kind of progress, you might get really demotivated. So that's important as well. So if you aren't sure, that's kind of what I do for a living. That's not even a commercial. Here's somebody who knows that sometimes she has to pay somebody else to give her a plan in order to not, get too scattered about what I'm trying to accomplish. Number 3, you may have to adjust your current plan, or even the plan that you think is going to work for you. You might have to adjust it to work better for you. So, if you've been getting up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym and, you're just not making it, or it's been a struggle to get to the end of the day, whatever, you may have to find a different time. Or if of course, you shouldn't be giving yourself a huge deficit of calories as it is, but if you've been working with 1,000 calorie deficit and you can't function by the end of the day, and trust me, I've been there. I've been on stage more times than I want to admit, and when I get to the end, I can't function. I might look incredibly lean and shredded, but I just don't feel good. So again, you might have to adjust some things to make it work for you so that you feel like you can continue that for a lifetime. That's why I'm not a huge fan of diets, including the keto diet, because honestly, first of all, there are some real downsides health-wise to that, but not only that, you have to commit a lifetime to that, because if a keto diet is the way that you lost the weight, that's how you have to keep it off. And so if you're not willing to stick with it as a lifestyle, you're not going to be able to accomplish your goals, or you might accomplish them, but you're not going to stay at your goals, at your goal weight. Now, I know you've heard, 21 days make a habit, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to disagree. 21 days does not make a habit. It's a good start. But I'm going to tell you it's not enough to make a habit, because it's just as easy. You can fall off, and then it's a struggle to get back on, right? As humans, we don't like change. We just don't. We don't like how it feels. We don't like the vibrations that it emits. And so we get really uncomfortable. And so we struggle with it. I'm going to tell you that it's going to be 90 days. 90 days creates a habit. A year, now again, this is just my personal opinion, a year creates a lifestyle, because you could do it for 6 months. Come on, I've had a competition press that lasts me 6 months. I can do anything for that amount of time, but can I do it for the rest of my life? That's what it really is about. So when you get to the point where if you don't work out that week, you don't feel right, you've probably hit the lifestyle, right? But it takes more than 21 days to do that. Because again, you can do anything for 1 month, but just as easily you can fall off the wagon. So the whole 21 days make a habit. I just don't agree with that one at this point. And then number 5, and this one is especially important for moms. I'm just going to tell you from experience. You have to make yourself a priority, right? A lot of times we have great intentions to go to the gym. We have great intentions to go for that extra walk, or take the stairs, or park a little farther away from our work. But we end up allowing other people to take up our time. And I know, our kids are our most important things to us. That's great. But if you're supposed to show up for work, or you get fired, you show up for work, right? So at some point, you can't let other people take over your schedule. If you book it, hold it. Put it in your planner, your phone, whatever works for you. And don't allow other people to book that time from you, because that is your time. I've had to remind people that you can't help other people if you are dead, right? As a mother, you cannot take care of your children. It's kind of like when you're on the plane and they talk about, the airbag dropping down, and you're supposed to put it on you before you help anybody else. That is because you can't help anybody else if you're no longer alive. So again, you have to make yourself a priority, so that even if that's your goal is to give to other people, you have to be in good health to do that. You can't help other people if you are sick all the time, if you are a full-blown type 2 diabetic and now you have nerve pain that won't go away and you can't walk. So again, think about what's going to best help you to help other people. And that is super important. And it's a hard one. I'm not going to lie. It took me well into my late 30s to realize that I really had to take good care of myself and make myself a priority in order to be the best mother, the best coach, the best wife that I could possibly be, in order, to just be my very best. So hopefully that gives you some answers. And if you do wait till January 1st, at least you're getting started. So don't get me wrong, I'm super happy about that. I'm going to cheer for you because I just want you to be happy and healthy. Just realize that you're going to come up against some bigger obstacles than you would if you started early. And like I said, even if you start now and you fall down a few times, who cares? At least you got started and you're focused on the right direction. Because again, anytime that you wait, you're just delaying something that you really want. The other thing I want you to think about is, how bad do you want it? Right? I get this all the time. Well, I want to look like you. Okay, well then you have to do what I do, right? Well, I don't know if I could do that. If you can't get up at 5 a.m. and do 30 minutes of cardio before work, I just don't know what to tell you. Like, yeah, that might not work for you. You might be able to find another time, but you have to do what it takes. There's no pill. There's no shortcut that's going to work, especially long term, or not cause some issues. So you have to do the work. That's just how it rolls. And for some odd reason, at this day and age, we want it yesterday before we started, and we don't want to have to do the work to get it. Get over that. It's not going to happen. So anyway, hopefully that helps. Happy Turkey Day, you guys. I'm so excited. Hopefully you are grateful and you feel blessed for all the things that you have. I will have my whole family here tomorrow. I'm super excited. We're just going to spend some time together, and we love it. So don't forget to leave a comment below. By the way, if you miss any of the things that I do live, they are uploaded and shared to not only my Facebook page, but also on my YouTube channel, which will be coming out with some new videos pretty quickly here. I'm trying to figure out my little video camera. So make sure that you're paying attention to that and subscribe on YouTube, because then you'll know whenever I post something new. Also, if you have a question, please ask. You can either post it below or you can message me on Facebook Messenger, because I get my very best ideas from you guys. I want to answer your questions. And here's the cool thing. If I don't know something, I will tell you I don't know, but I will find out, because that is how I roll. So have an incredible night, you guys. That is Q&A Wednesday. Bye-bye now.